we're talking about the head coaching situation here. And of course, right, if there's a opportunity for a Shanahan or something where you can trade for it, that'd be cool. But a conversation that I think needs to be had is when it comes to who's going to be the next guy, should Caleb Williams have a say in that? Should you be looking to your future of your franchise to have a say in who the next coach is? Now, I'm not saying the ultimate say. I'm not saying final say. I'm not saying, that he should go out there and, if he doesn't like a guy, the Bears shouldn't hire him. But do you want the relationship to be one where Caleb feels comfortable with the guy the second that he gets in the building, or do you want there to be something that has to grow and has to develop because maybe they don't vibe the same, i.e. a Cliff Kingsbury coming in, there would already be some kind of a working relationship there, right? A Lincoln Riley, excuse me. A Lincoln Riley, one more second. Lincoln Riley is the Chicago Bears' next head coach. There'd be a working relationship there. Maybe Caleb would be interested in bringing one of those guys into the building. Or do you think that it should just be front office decision, whoever this little committee they're going to put together decision, and see kind of, Caleb, you just got to figure it out with the guy that we're going to bring in?
I don't think I think you kind of, gauge what he would like, but that's about it. He's not in the room with the interviews and the this and the that. I think it's more about like, would you like this type of system? What appeals to his strengths is how I'm looking at it. If I'm the GM, I'm looking at it from that standpoint. My job as a GM is to bring in the coach because in totality, yes, quarterback is on the top of the totem pole in terms of hierarchy. But outside of that, we still got to look at everything else. What kind of system and team are you bringing in for my receivers, my O-line, my defense, all those type of things. So, Shout out to Jay Jonah in the building. I think that's
the first time he didn't start off with fire Garpax. So you know what I mean? We're doing some things the right way. We're moving in the right direction.
No, I think that I wouldn't want, you don't let the inmates run the asylum. I think that he gets some input, but the whole point is that the coach's job, and at times, I mean, look, I'm not necessarily there to be your friend. We're there to win games. And there's going to be times where I might have to get on you. There's going to be times where I have to, you may not be here. You could be an injury away. And, who knows? Something silly could happen. So it's more about the system I'm putting in place. I mean, look at Shanahan. If you let Jimmy G, because Jimmy G was the anointed quarterback coming from New England, and he gets to make the choice for Kyle Shanahan, or what if he wanted somebody else that ended up flaming out and Kyle Shanahan was the guy? So no, it's about the GM, the ownership making a decision in terms of, scratch ownership, team president and the GM making a decision for the head coach, and Caleb should get some inkling. Now the goal is that he plays 10 to 15 years or give us a great run and he ends up being the quarterback that we need. But guess what? After a while, the coach could still be here and the player won't.
Yeah, I think this one's interesting because I do want Caleb to be comfortable with whoever comes in here, right? Realistically speaking, my hope is that we get the player and the coach together who are going to be together for the next 25 years of their lives. Get it together. 25 seems a little much for Caleb. I mean, when Caleb's 50, I want him on this field. No, I want the coach and the quarterback together for the next 10 to 15 years, realistically speaking, right? And you want a guy who's going to be able to go out there and be your coach for a heck of a long time. I want that Steelers situation that the Chicago Bears feel that they are, but aren't realistically. With that being said, I think you also have to look at, like you said, what's going to be best for the totality of the team. Yeah. What's going to be best for, where the team is not only just next season, but 10 years down the road. Yeah. Like, to me, that's where this decision has to lie. And that may not rely on one player. Now,
Well, it's
again,
not.
you got to go out there and get it right so that you can get this one player right here with the Bears. But like, if you're talking about bringing Caleb Williams in and like he has a heavy say, or even he has any say, listen, how many coaches come in and you just got to adapt to the players that you've had? Like, I get the player empowerment movement, but at a certain point, there has to be a line on, are you really, like you said, are the inmates running the asylum? I don't want to say it that way, but like, are you letting the team and the players basically dictate everything that you do within your front office? I don't think that that's a good way to run your business either, because at a certain point, players are going to make the best decision for their careers because their careers are shorter than the GM's decision or than a GM's career.
No, what happens to me is that, let's say we're running a West Coast offense or this run zone scheme type of system. To me, it's no different. Okay, it's no different from us drafting Dexter. Dexter was used to running a totally different scheme. Now, if we was highly touted and we were like, man, he's the next coming of Warren Sapp, whatever. But now he has input to decide the defense, or we know that you only have a 3 to 4 year window anyways. I need someone to fit my system. Find the next defensive tackle to fit the system. Find the next player to fit the system. So Caleb coming in needs to be a good match. The thing is, he's already here. So we want someone that matches that. And then the goal would be, in case there's a day where he's not here, we need someone to fit the system. I mean, it's a dream. It would be a dream situation of like the 49ers back in the day. You got Joe Montana, and eventually you get Steve Young. And you can kind of continue the run. The issue is usually the drop-off. Think about the Rams back in the day. They went through Trent Green. They went to like 3 quarterbacks before they got to, or 2 quarterbacks before they got to Kurt Warner. He finally fits the system. After he leaves, it goes to Mark Bolger, right? Because it was all about Mike Martz's system. Yeah. So the system has to do, it's the system that we put in place that we would like to keep here, which is why it's almost imperative to find someone. Like, it's scary to bring in a Vrabel type, a defensive-minded coach, and now we don't have what kind of offense. That's why I was like, I'd rather, if you're going to do that, then you bring in McDaniels, and then we got a guy that I'm hoping. Well, one, we don't want. He shouldn't be another head coach again. I mean, you get two tries at it.
Listen, dog.
Now you're gonna get a third shot.
Listen, dog. I'm telling you how this NFL works.
Your job.
Matt Nagy finna get another bite at the apple.
I don't know why. He's still, honestly, I think when he leaves, he'll. Mahomes is going to look better after.
I am not. Leaves. Well, I mean, he still don't have no tackles and or wide receivers. He got wide receivers now. He got wide receiver now.
No, he's Mahomes. No, bump that.
He got a wide receiver now.
Xavier Worthy or whatever. No.
All right, listen. I do love the fact that like we're seeing all of these quarterbacks around the NFL where everybody was just like looking at the Bears situation. You're like, you should be able to overcome the offensive line. Joe Burrow actually still looks good. I'm not gonna lie to you. And he's got nothing standing in front of him. Pat Mahomes looks like he's coming down to earth a little bit, still finding magical ways to win these games. CJ Stroud everybody's like, oh, it's just a little sophomore slump. No, he didn't have this slump when those tackles were out there, when Larry Tunsil was on that left side. Like, all of these quarterbacks that now don't have the offensive line, everybody's just like, oh God, well, look at that. Mm-hmm. This is a tough season for them. No, you need protection. It's important.
I sometimes it's just the timing of things, because I'm thinking about the Sean Payton situation where either he was calculated with the move, right? They go and get, the GM brings in Russ. You trade for Sean. It's supposed to work out. And then it ends up not working. But now my coach is in place. Now I get my quarterback. The Bears have everything backwards at this point. Yeah. We hire a GM. They force a coach on them. Then they bring in the president of operations after they bring in the GM. Now they fire the coach, but now we drafted the quarterback. You should have got rid of the coach and paired the coach with the quarterback, with the number 1 pick. And now
we just love being backwards around here.
It's all backwards, No, so I mean, back to the question. No, I wouldn't let him make the input the decision, but he would be, I would care about, I would gauge what he thinks. But outside of that, like, these are some of the guys we're looking at. But I think based off your skill set, this is what we need to do, whether you like him or not. It would be better that you guys like each other, but this is what's best for the organization.